what message do you deliver when you're consciously saying, okay, this is our main plan, and if that doesn't work, then this is what we're going to do, versus this is our plan A and it's got to work, and this is what we're going to do to make sure it does.
We're going to burn ourselves out from trying to do too much. What I would argue is the burnout really from just refusing to make a damn decision.
What was it that we were worried about wasn't going to work that made us think we actually needed to have a backup plan?
Welcome back to Unapologetic Rabble-Rousers. I'm Doc Shelley.
And I'm Carla Lewis. Now, today, we're all about disrupting the normal. I mean, we started this, I know, we started this whole podcast under this umbrella that said, you know what, we're unapologetic about the fact that we're going to be digging into things. We're going to lean into them because we can, and because they need leaning into.
Amen.
So we just came from a pretty deep episode. Is taking a look at that notion of making a move from where we are to whatever is the next, whatever is the vision. And we talked about that notion of being stuck in a place called the
waiting room.
In the waiting room. So this today is about, well, lighting a match. All right. If you've been sitting in that waiting room, this might be the episode that nudges you to get your ass into the next room. Okay. I'm just saying, the one where you stop the waiting, you stop wondering, you stop hedging, and you just start betting on yourself. So let's do it, Michelle.
Let's do it.
So what do we want to talk about here? What's going to be the encouragement that we can offer people who find themselves stuck in that doorway?
Oh,
yeah.
That is a big question.
It starts with box breathing, right?
Deep breath.
Deep breath.
Think, oh my God, my brain just went in like 500 directions of where we could go. Safety, that whole notion. I know it's so funny because when I think about what we're really talking about is plan B, right?
Yep.
Getting rid of plan B, burn that backup plan. A lot of people find safety in the plan B, and a lot of people never have a plan B.
Okay.
So it's interesting to me as we think about where to start with this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
so let me ask you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on plan B?
Well, I think plan B, okay, plan B is a cop-out. You want my honest, that's all we do
No, I
here.
asked the question because I didn't want you to answer it.
Yeah, okay. And that's another story all in itself. So plan B is a plan for failure.
Mm-hmm.
And while we talk about we want to have a backup plan, that really implies that we're not real confident with the original plan. And so my question ends up being, in those cases, how is the backup plan going to be any better than what was going to be the primary plan for whatever it is that you're talking about or wanting to whatever you're thinking about? I'm getting all tied up in this as well. That plan B is an anchor that keeps you from being able to move forward. I think it's a plan for failure.
That's a good analogy.
Thank you.
I like that. Plan B is the anchor that's keeping you in the ocean.
It is keeping you in that liminal space, or it's keeping you from even getting into the doorway that might let you into the next space, the where you want to go. What's the purpose of a plan B, people? Think about it.
I just had this vision. Such a dork. I was a boater growing up. We always had boats. And I was thinking plan B is like you keeping the hatch open. The longer you keep that hatch open, the less oxygen that goes to the cabin. That's like in your life, the longer you keep that hatch of plan B open, the less oxygen that's actually going into your dream to plan A.
Wow. So
So
translate
now we've
that.
got the anchor with the boat and the hatch open. We're screwed if
We
we have a
are
plan B.
so totally screwed. So totally screwed. Okay, so from a non-boater point of view, because I would think, okay, so I have some boating background. But if I didn't, I would think, well, having the hatch open doesn't that mean you get more air? And the silent shaking of your head for those who are listening suggests that no, you have to understand some of the physics behind how all of that stuff works.
Yes.
But if we can anchor on the notion that that plan B is not where you want to focus. You don't even think about it.
And to your point, this is what pops in my head. If we have plan A and we have plan B, how much more mental space is that taking? How many more things do I have to think about and manage? And what the hell? If plan A isn't going to work, plan B probably isn't going to work. Do I need a plan C, D, E, F, G, H too?
Exactly. Because think about it. Think about it. If, okay, here's our plan A. Now, if that doesn't work, stop there. Stop your thinking right there. If that doesn't work, now is the time for you to take a look at what are the parts of plan A that need some work.
I
What are
think yes. And then also, what if it works scares the hell out of someone?
that is a fascinating point because having a plan B suggests it's going to be okay if plan A fails. Whoa.
Mhm.
If I'm ready to invest in a plan B, then I'm okay if plan A doesn't work.
Because plan A might be the big, hairy, audacious goal that scares you. So it's easier to go to plan B
Which will be a
because it's probably a smaller thing because I want to live small.
it's by design less.
Mhm.
It's just by design it is less.
Absolutely.
Think about what that's actually telling you. What message do you deliver when you're consciously saying, okay, this is our main plan. And if that doesn't work, then this is what we're going to do. Versus, this is our plan A and it's got to work. And this is what we're going to do to make sure it does.
I just want to back up to what you said. The first thing you said there was, okay, here's our plan A. And if that doesn't work, we're going to do plan B. If I was working for somebody or with somebody and they came to me and said, here's plan A, we're going to do this, this, and this. And they go, but if that doesn't work, then here's our backup plan. I'd be like, get the F out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's just do plan B because clearly you don't believe in plan A. Like, I'm not putting my effort into something that you already have told me is going to fail. But how many times have I done that to myself where I go, okay,
Yeah.
well, here's plan A, here's plan B. But if someone else had the audacity to say that to me in the workplace or with a job that I do or the coaching that I do,
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to throat punch them.
That's pretty serious. Yeah. Wouldn't want that.
But
I
think
mean,
about that.
yeah, that is an awesome analogy. And you think about how many times we set ourselves up in the silence of our own special place there in the
Yeah.
doorway between what was and what will be, saying, okay, well, if this doesn't work, then maybe I'll do this. Oh my
It's
God.
like there's one door in and out of the waiting room. There's not 32 doors. There's one room out. There's one door out, one room out. There's one door out.
And for those who are wondering what the waiting room is, you need to go back to the last episode.
Yes.
Wow. So plan B brings
Plan B
so
sucks.
it does, but it brings there's so much there is so much baggage that's associated with that whole notion that I would even consider a plan B. Now some will say, but wait a minute, don't you have to have it's like a survival plan? Well, yeah, that should be your plan A. If it's important enough to plan, it's important enough to plan so that it works.
Yeah.
And so no, okay, now let's hedge some language. Contingency plans.
No,
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
You're still doing twice the work. You're coming up with two plans instead of one that you can just build some momentum in. It's like with two plans, you're building momentum while you got your brakes on. Like you're trying to climb the hill, but you got your brakes going.
There's that anchor. There's that
Yeah.
whole thing that's holding you back. It's you cannot make the progress if you're holding on to the fact you might need that.
And this requires exactly, and this requires a tremendous amount of energy. And so we're going to burn ourselves out from trying to do too much. What I would argue is the burnout really from just refusing to make a damn decision.
Mm.
Choose your plan A or choose your plan B.
But make a choice.
Make a decision.
Whatever
And I
plan you
think,
choose is plan A.
yeah. And I think when I think about people's reaction to finally making that commitment to something,
Mm-hmm.
it's really about being fully present in that decision. You can't have all that chatter in the back of your head. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if this is the wrong thing to do? Oh my God, this is scary. Like our brains are like, just like this little pest, that little ant that keeps coming back for more from your picnic.
But it's busy. It's busy trying to keep you safe.
It
So that
is.
chatter's going to get really loud.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So while it's busy pestering you and challenging you in these thoughts about what needs to happen next, if it sees that you even are making space for plan B, it knows already that you are afraid.
Oh, plan B is absolutely the answer to the brain's fear.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And I think a lot of people fear the commitment, right? But commitment doesn't mean that you're fearless, but it does mean potentially that you are done negotiating with that self doubt.
That's
Because that's what plan B is. I'm scared, I can't do it, and I'm going to fail. That is self doubt in action. Plan B is that negotiation.
so it's about getting fully behind and embracing that plan A,
Yeah.
a commitment to
Yeah.
what it is that you're deciding to do.
Yeah. And I think too, like we've all had plan Bs.
Mm,
So burning the plan doesn't mean burning the lessons that we've learned from those things.
right.
So we can learn from those backup plans. We don't need to live there. God knows we don't need to live there. But those backup plans have probably taught us something that is valuable that we can bring into plan A, that we can use us to propel us towards plan A, that can help us build the life, the business, the whatever that we want. So we don't want to torch the lessons from plan B, but we do want to burn plan B.
Right. And that's such a core piece of this, Michelle. Learning from, excuse me, learning from the decisions that we've made, the plans that we've made, because just in case the real plan didn't work, what was it that we were worried about wasn't going to work that made us think we actually needed to have a
Right.
backup plan? What is it that did work that we feared and didn't need to, that we can leverage as we develop the next plan for whatever we're planning? So
Yes.
being able to take the time and understand those things so that we can we can carry that plan forward with absolute confidence. Things might go bump in the night. Okay.
Of
You
course
will
they're going
have,
to go bump in the night.
of course they are, but you don't react. You respond from a place of having considered, this is what works. This is how I work. These are the things I know that I come to start worrying about this time in a project or a plan. This is what I've done to get past that. This is how I'm going to do it today. Being able to reflect those lessons that we have learned. The important thing is the learning and then putting the learning in action.
Yes. Let the lessons stay. Let the limits go.
Let's try that.
Please actually do cut that one. Let the lessons stay and let the limits go.
Yes. Yes. The limits can't go until they cannot go until the lessons are in place to be able to leave no space for them.
Yeah, exactly. We have to trust our forward momentum, which is a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because
when we can trust that forward momentum, we don't need a backup plan.
yes. So what shall we leave our listeners with in terms of encouragement as we talk about burning the backup plan with wisdom and discretion, but understanding what is it to take forward from this?
I think a couple things as you ask that question go through my head. Think about, where are your feet planted? Where are you planning your exit plan? And if your feet are planted, you probably don't have an exit plan, but you know what I mean.
I'm picking it up. Yep.
And I backup plans are not inherently bad. We've made it sound like they're like the worst thing ever. And sometimes they can be, but inherently some backup plans, okay. But when they become that emotional crutch, if you will, they're stealing focus and energy and courage from that plan A. And so sometimes the bravest thing you can do is close the back door and boldly walk out that front door. Here I am, world. Take me on. And go live your plan A.
Go live your plan A. With that, I'm Carla Lewis.
I'm Doc Shelley. We'll see you next time. Backup plans are not inherently bad, but when they become that emotional crutch, they're stealing focus and energy and courage from that plan A. And so sometimes the bravest thing you can do is close the back door and boldly walk out that front door and go live your plan A.